Good evening and welcome to round 10 of Apex This Season 20 GT3. I'm Daniel Zippy Salmon, an up-and-coming producer, experienced commentator, and amateur stand-up comedian. I'm going to be joined here this evening by Apex This veteran Richard Swindells, live on Pit Road Productions. Tell us a little bit about yourself today, Richard. Oh, hang on, you're muted. Hold on, I've got you muted. Hang on, say something, Richard. Richard, talk to me. Why can't I hear you? What's going on? This is going well. Richard, you muted your own mic, I think, bud. I see your lips flapping, but I don't hear you. He's still flapping. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Swindells has appeared to have become a mute partner in this duo. Don't ask me why. Calling Richard. Let's see what's going on. He says he's not muted. We're going to see about that. Let me have a look here. What is going on? We broke it. He is not muted. I think he's muted his mic, but all of a sudden I can't hear him at all. This is a good start. Richard, I literally can't hear you. I can't hear you at all. Alright, so what's going on here? Because I can't hear you in Discord or anything. You're not in my headset. Nothing. Your mic's got to be muted somewhere, buddy. Alright, well that's Richard out for the camp right now. Let's give him a few minutes. His mic was working good. I've not changed anything here. I can hear all my audio, so I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but we'll get back to that very shortly. His name is Richard Swindells, and he's glad to be here week 10 of 18. On week 10 of 18. I don't know where he got the 18 from, but anyway, and he is running out of shirts as I do not pay him enough to buy more. That is absolutely valid there. He's a volunteer person here at Pit Road Productions, but we are going to take a quick look at the schedule. Let's see where we've been so far. So we started off in Watkins, heading through a few different tracks. Daytona was definitely a favorite. Canadian Tire Motorsport as well. Then in the later part of the season, we took a look. We went to Road America. We was at Barcelona that last week, and this time we're going to be here at Imola before heading to VIR, and then that favorite here, Apex This Circuit of the Americas. But the guys are currently in qualifying. We're going to get a little bit of action there on that and take a peek. And while you guys are watching that, we'll see if we can figure out what is happening with the audio of Richard Swindells. So here we see Chad Sanowski. It's good to see him back as well. He's currently, nobody's yet to place a time, so we're going to see very shortly what these guys can do. He's going to be in the 911 GT3R. Again, Apex This has it so that you run the same car all season. If you don't and you switch, any points up until that point will be forfeit as he's there, and he's going to be posting a lap very, very shortly.
Hey, Zip.
There we go. He's back. Richard Swindells is back, ladies and gentlemen. Richard, say something more.
Well, it's a mighty fine evening to be here at 8X This, and let's hope the technical glitches are finished for the evening.
Well, I certainly hope so. I can definitely hear him now in almost stereo vision at this point. I'm not quite sure how I managed that. But ladies and gentlemen, he's back. And again, those outrageous shirts as well. We're going to actually flick very quickly to the cameras just so you guys can see that shirt. He can try and explain himself. Look, ladies and gentlemen, there he is. The man, the legend, Richard Swindells, in a truly outrageous shirt. But I tell you what, Richard, why don't you tell us a little bit about where we're going to be today?
Well, today we are racing at what's affectionately known as Imola. The Imola circuit, it's officially called the Autodromo Internazionale. Enzo at Dino Ferrari, Italian for Enzo, Dino Ferrari International Circuit. It's a 4.9 kilometer, 3.05 mile motor racing circuit. It's located in the town of Imola in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy, 40 kilometers east of Bologna. It is one of the few major international circuits to run in an anti-clockwise direction. Initially, it was used for motorcycle racing. First race at Imola was held in 1953. Imola has hosted non-championship Formula 1 races in the 1963 Imola Grand Prix, the 1970 Dino Ferrari Grand Prix. It was used for official championship races in the 1980 Italian Grand Prix and the San Marino Grand Prix every year from 1981 to 2006. Safety concerns with the circuit were raised throughout the 80s and 90s, particularly with the high-speed Tamburello corner where numerous accidents occurred.
Well, that corner, this resulted in fatalities, including the death of legendary race car driver Ayrton Senna in 1994. As a result, chicanes were introduced at multiple points to reduce cornering speeds, which changed the nature of the course and caused problems with their high curbs. Formula One stopped racing at Imola in 2007, leading the circuit owners to undertake major reconstruction work to the track and pit lane facilities. After the work was completed, a contract was signed for Formula One to return to Imola from 2017, but legal disputes prevented this from occurring. It eventually returned in 2020 with the circuit hosting the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix since 2020. When Formula One visits Imola, it is considered to be one of the home circuits of the Scuderia Ferrari racing team, which is based in nearby Maranello. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to say, it definitely wasn't the start we were looking for, but hey, they're currently in qualifying. DJ Alessandrini is currently the one-man to beat up there. Ryan Otis actually incredibly close behind, and I'm going to make sure that you guys are getting iRacing audio. Again, if you spot an issue with the stream, something that I've maybe had a whoops on, by all means, let me know. Let's actually get a car on board, see if we can find somebody on the move. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is Neil McDougall currently sat back in third. I believe the audio should be okay. I see there's actually quite a few people cheering on in the YouTube chat. I see Adrian Adams in there. Hello, sir. Sambarama, I just see you subscribed as well. Thank you very much. And Morgan Rhodes cheering on the WBM boys. Definitely much better represented today as we see Neil McDougall trying to improve on his time right now. Currently a little off his current pace.
Neil, he had a good result the last few weeks. He's sitting overall second in the championship right now, and following close battle with Mark Miller and Philip Adams. Mark Miller's leading the overall championship. Neil McDougall's in second. Philip Adams is in third. Only 5 points separating all three drivers.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how the championship battle unfolds. And I think I may have just figured out why Richard sounded particularly funky, but we'll find out very soon when he speaks again. My apologies here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the process of converting from Streamlabs to OBS, and it's fair to say I've not really played with them either that much. It's been my first season directing here, and I do thank ApexS and all of you guys at home and all of the racers as well for having the patience for doing that. Definitely a little bit stronger in the commentary booth than I am at pushing the magic buttons here, as Neil McDougall, the Scottish driver, is looking to see if he can prove he was in third place. Is he going to move up? We're going to find out very shortly. He was almost 0.6 of a second behind the leader. Has he improved? No, I do not believe he has. Richard, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, he's still sitting there in third, still about almost 0.6 back of DJ Alessandrini, but there's not a bad position to be in. He's ahead of his competitors in the championship, or he's actually just a little bit behind Ryan, so he's in good position.
As we say that, we've seen Ryan Otis crossing the line right now. Let's see what he can do. Maybe he can improve. He did improve his time, but not his position. He gained another couple attempts lead ahead of Neil McDougall, so definitely puts him in a stronger spot, but not enough to take the top spot away from DJ Alessandrini in that number 26 car. Under a tenth of a second now. Let's see who else we can find on the track right now. There's Rob Campbell. He's out on the move. See if we can find somebody right at the start. Parker, Steven, Eric Kalaga, Brian Zinn. A track map would be very useful at this point, ladies and gentlemen, and it's fair to say that I haven't got one, but we do see, actually, wow, this field really grew legs in the past few minutes. Quite a lot of people in here, and I do see as well, we have, where they gone? We have Sean Garou. He is back, and actually in a different paint job as well. And his play friend, Morgan Smith, is also back. So I'm looking forward to see if these guys are going to be hard at it. Roman Bykov's here, ladies and gentlemen. So lots of people hanging around. And also as well, I believe Corey Mitchell is here today, but not currently on the track. But let's take a quick look here at Philip Adams. It's DJ Alessandrini. He's just set the new fastest time, opening that gap up to Ryan Otis by 2 tenths.
Yeah, it's a great field we've got tonight, Zippy. It looks like we've got 29 cars have entered the session. Not all have set laps yet, but if we get a 29-car field, it's going to be a pretty impressive race, and looking forward to seeing what happens.
Oh, you and me both. Imola is actually on the Princess approved track list, so I'm fair to say I am definitely going to be a fan of this track, and it's one of those circuits where I wish I was probably behind the wheel instead. As we see there, Philip Adams having a little bit of retirement there, and I think that may be it for a lot of the guys. I'm going to have a quick peek through, see if we've got anybody still on the move. It's fair to say probably not at this point, so we are going to get ready for the grid. It should be ready in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be a really fun race. Certainly Imola, one of the more fun tracks in the rotation, with VIR coming next week, and then that finale at Circuit of the Americas. We're just going to let that qualifying timer clock down, as I do see as well. We are going to be snagging later on during the broadcast. We're going to be talking to Corey Mitchell, probably Philip Adams, and maybe even Donald Mensing as well. We'll try and grab those guys there, but definitely a fun qualifying. Let's see if this is going to populate just yet. It may be a little bit too early. We're going to have a quick look. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here is your grid for round 10 of season 20, I believe. Season 20?
It's season 20 for Apex this.
There we go, season 20. Let's start this grid off, ladies and gentlemen. So in first place, it is one of the crowd favorites. It's DJ Alessandrini. I believe it's his left-hand driving today in the number 26 car, with Ryan Otis alongside in second. As we have a look at the second row, we've got Parker Duham in third. I believe he's driving one of WBM Mustangs. He's up there with Neil McDougall in fourth, Mark Miller in fifth, and Chad Sanowski takes sixth, with Rod Campbell and Austin Dilps closing out seventh and eighth.
Ninth, we have Steve Martinez, followed by Eric Ulaga in 10th. Brian Zinn is in 11th, followed by Philip Adams in 12th. Morgan Smith is sitting 13th, followed by Corey Mitchell. Tony Phillips is 15th, followed by Kelly Greenhow.
And as we have a look at 17th now, Syke is Benjamin Syke. He is there alongside Russell Elizondo, with Wesley Price in 19th. Roman Bykov surprisingly quite far back in the order today in 20th. Sean Garou takes 21st, with Spencer Prodouin in 22nd, with Aaron Sunday in 23rd, and Mark Bray alongside him in 24th. As we continue down the standings, we got Paul Bailey there in 25th, with Stan Hammonds in 26th, Fozzie Fazzillo with 27th, Troy Banks, actually another person surprisingly far back, in 28th, and Donald Mensing in 29th. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your grid. And don't ask me how I've done that. My apologies there. There we go. And I've already apologized on stream, ladies and gentlemen. It is off to a consistent start. Let's see. Here we go. And this is going to be your grid. Let's get the couple of things back up on the screen for you. There you go. We're going to be all primed and ready. Actually, DJ Alessandrini changing car for this round, so he will lose any points he's had so far. He was driving that Audi R8, but yet again, you can see the outrageous paint job did survive.
Yeah, I don't think DJ really cares too much about the season points. He's classified as a pro, so his points really pretty much get wiped out. So he's just out here for each race victory he can get.
Well, that is definitely understandable. Actually, we're going to try and catch up. Pick a driver from the Discord room. We'll try and catch one of them on the pace lap there. Richard, tell me, who do you want to speak to very quickly?
Yeah, right now. Let's grab somebody at random and we'll go live.
All right. Well, let's take We're going to grab hold of Sean Guru very, very quickly. Now, Sean, I understand you've been away for a little bit. It's great to see you back, especially with that new paint job today. Tell us a little bit about what you've got in store for this race.
Just going to try to survive the first lap here and the first couple of corners and try to pick off as many as I can here, so...
Well, we are going to wish you the very best of luck. It's good to see you back in the service and, well, back in the service, back in the race even. And we're going to be keeping an eye to see if you have another great battle there with Morgan Smith in that Lamborghini. He's about 8 positions ahead of you at the start, but again, we can see just how busy it can be. So we're going to wish you the best of luck in the race, and thank you very much for the quick chat.
Yep, good luck. Happy broadcast, guys.
Thank you very much. That was Sean Guru, ladies and gentlemen, in the number 88 Corvette. But we're going to return to the front of the pack there. Actually, who was that now? They had a Canadian flag on a Corvette. I just seen right by Sean Guru.
Missed that one. I'm not sure who that was.
Oh, I think that's Spencer. Yeah, look at that. Look, Canadian flag all over his Ferrari GT3. But we're going to leave that in for a bit of peace and quiet for the minute as we go. There with DJ Alessandrini, remembering they can only go on green. He's keen. He's on the trigger. He's not there yet. Green, 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 and they are off racing, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Alessandrini leading the field into turn 1. You can see the Mustang there. The number 13 car, Parker Durham, right alongside, closing the door on Ryan Otis. And a couple of guys side by side. We'll see a little bit of carnage further in the back, but everything looks to be okay so far. I do not see anybody falling heavily through the field. As I say that, people are moving around. I think Mark Bray maybe went down a few. No, my apologies. It was Benjamin Syke dropping a few places, actually. Philip Adams already up 4 spots, but it seems that the front 3 cars already pulling away. Huge action there, and Russell Elizondo in an incident as well. As that's Rob Campbell in the background. Something's happened with Rob Campbell.
Yeah, it looked like Rob Campbell either got spun or spun himself early. Let's take a look back and see what we can find out here.
As you can see there, he is alongside with Philip Adams, Corvette versus Porsche. It looks like Adams maybe a little bit touched up under braking. And no, Campbell nudges the 911 ahead, spins fishtails, and he is out to dry very quickly, getting that car out of the way. Smart move, and definitely could have been a lot worse. As I'm seeing another warning that he may have crashed. Oh, dear. And he's pit as well. Let's see. I think it's just tagging the same incident, so not too bad there. But it does tell me that he's pit. I wonder if he has had early retirement already, but let's take a look further through the field. As you see there, well, DJ Alessandrini, he's already pulled away a 1.3 second gap. Parker Duran is right behind him with Ryan Otis there in tow. But if you go behind Mark Miller, that is where the action starts. These guys all very, very closely packed together. And yeah, Rob Campbell at the back of the field right now. Not quite sure what's happening there. He's been in the pits for a little while. We'll keep an eye. Hopefully he can come back out and make a recovery drive. But definitely some action happening. Actually, let's see very quickly what happened to Russell Elizondo.
We had heavy traffic. There was a little confusion on the start. I think the green flag kind of came out late, and DJ didn't see it, and that caused the pack to bunch up. And once we got into braking, they're going 3 wide, and looks like he may have just got tagged a little bit and pushed out into the wall.
Definitely not the race start he was looking for. You should see him coming down pit lane now. Both him and Rob Campbell, the first people there to take the pits. But I do wonder where the biggest battle is happening right now. And to be honest, it looks like it's all behind Mark Miller. There's just so many cars right behind him. He is going to be under a lot of pressure. You see Neil McDougall behind him, Philip Adams, Chad Sanowski, Austin Diltz, all very, very capable drivers. You can see a whole field of cars basically as the top 3 have absolutely pulled away from the field, putting as much gap between them. But you tell you what, we're going to take a look at Chad Sanowski right now because he is hot on the tail of Philip Adams.
Chad hasn't been here much this season, but he's a regular at Apex this, and he usually brings his own audience, so we got to make sure we show him on camera just in case he has his viewers with him tonight.
Well, I see Adrian Adams, he is cheering on in the chat as well, so it's good to see more supporters out in the chat. Actually, I've got 7 people there in the chat, and I don't think any of them are my mother this time. She's already gone to bed, so that's great to see, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely share the stream, tell your friends, and if they want to laugh at my expense, by all means do so. I'm sure I'm going to give you some golden whoops moments at some point during the broadcast. But you see there, Sanowski looking to go right tight on the inside there, not quite able to get it done, just a little bit too far back. He's going to want to carry as much speed as he can as they go down the start finish straight, using all of the track and trying to get a good draft there on Philip Adams. But Philip Adams, he's not far behind McDougall ahead of him as DJ Alessandrini sets the fastest lap.
No surprise to see DJ out setting the fastest lap. He's been kind of the class of the field every race he's entered, but got some good close battling. And much like most of the viewers out here tonight, I'm just here for the comedy and watching you too, Zippy. So, hey, we're all here for the same reason.
Well, I do believe something just happened to Roman Bykov, and looking at his car, that looks like it's got damage on it as well. I'm going to try it and see if I can get that up for you. I've seen him move backwards pretty heavily there. Let's take a quick look here and see what went on. See if we can find. So here he is. He's at the front of that pack. He looks like he's got Wesley Bryce right behind him. Yeah, see, Wesley Bryce is going to pass Bykov here. Let's actually try and get it onto Bykov. Just give me a second here. Wrong way. And it will not let me select Roman Bykov. What a pain in the bum that was.
I'm guessing Roman may have had a little bit of a slowdown penalty there coming, maybe cutting the corner a little close, and he just had to let off and let the other guys by. Service penalty and get back on it.
Yeah, definitely a very expensive mistake there for Roman Bykov. I do think he's got a little bit of damage in that right front corner. If I have a look, flicking the cameras.
It's a Mustang. It's really hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fair. As you see right in front of him, that was a little bit of a mistake there from that Ferrari, and that was Spencer Berduin. I apologize.
Well, I'd go Spencer. Well, Baudouin? I don't know. So we're going to guess, but Spencer, let's see you get back on it. We love that paint job.
Yeah, definitely the Canadian fans are going absolutely crazy for that paint job, but we're going to look through the field. We're just going to make sure we're live. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see where the action is happening through the field right now. As DJ Alessandrini sets another fastest lap, but let's take a quick look at Morgan Smith. He's there trying to chase down Steven Martinez, and it's fair to say he is right up the chuff of that 53 Corvette. You can see him there applying pressure. Is he going to make it happen under the braking zone? Definitely a nice long slipstream, and them sausage curbs will take no prisoners. We've just seen the number 23 car, Spencer Berduin, get caught out with that action, and definitely something you got to keep in mind. As you see there, Morgan Smith for WBM Racing doing everything he can in that Lamborghini, the only Lamborghini actually in the field, with his teammate just a little bit ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they let him bring a Lambo over to the Ferrari track, but it's good to see we've got representation from both manufacturers.
Oh, absolutely. Myself, I think I would take the Lamborghini over the Ferrari. It's just, it's a silly car in some ways. They just want to make you laugh and make you smile, when the Ferrari's a little bit more serious, and that's probably something I'm not really too serious about. But let's have a quick look as well. We're going to move through the field, ladies and gentlemen. Battles happening everywhere, and it looks like Chad Sanowski has caught up a little bit further up the road to Phillip Adams. These guys battling hard at it again.
Yeah, Chad's on the move. He's trying to make up for some lost weeks here, get some good positions, finishing off. Phillip Adams, though, he's in a points battle for the season, and he doesn't want to lose any positions. He's going to do everything he can to hold off Chad and keep pace with Neil McDougall and Mark Miller ahead of him, who he's battling with. They're all within 5 points. He doesn't want to lose any more ground right now.
As you see there, a little bit of a nudge on Adams, getting a bit of a shunt. So Chad Sanowski keen to move his way through the field, but if you look behind him, Austin Diltz also giving him a little bit of a love tap as well. That Mustang giving the full frontal bulldog view right now. And well, I say bulldog, it's got a horse on it. And here we go. He's going to try and make the move. You see Sanowski hugging the inside. Is he going to get it done on the straight? It looks like they're side by side as they're heading down into turn one. It's going to be a battle of the late breakers. That Porsche giving a little nudge, and the Porsche is running wide. He's going to have to try hard to avoid the sausage curbs. Does it and holds on, but only just. Phillip Adams able to run away very slightly, opening up that gap to a second.
Good hard battling going in the corners. They're trying to keep it as clean as good. A little bit of bumping, but overall, pretty clean racing there in tight quarters.
Well, definitely a very close battle indeed. As you see Morgan Smith going up on the inside on Steven Martinez, not quite able to get it done. Applies pressure. That Lamborghini's giving the Corvette a little bit of a subtle hint saying, hey, I'm over here.
Well, you've got to make your presence known, and that's one way to do it. Keeping the pressure up, that's the only way you're going to make good passes here. Pressure sometimes beats speed, and keep pressure on, make the guy think about it.
Well, that is definitely one of the tactics to, have success in the race. You've really got to try it as hard as you can. And it's not just about putting the nose in, but it's about psyching out the driver ahead of you. Even the driver behind you, if they see that you're a little bit too courageous, they will reassess whether it is worth trying to make a move on you. As you see that chicane, very difficult corner, actually. Taking a little bit too much can definitely unsettle the car, but if you take it a bit too shallow as well, losing a lot of speed there, as they're going to go down into the Well, the second to last corner of this lap, and we're going to see what Morgan Smith can do. He's hot on the heels of Martinez, not quite able to get it done. About 0.3 of a second behind right now.
Right there it doesn't matter so much as long as you get the good exit, because now you've got the long straightaway, a little bit of a drafting opportunity, and this is where you want to make your move going into the first couple of corners. See if you can outbrake, make a late move into the inside, or carry on the outside as he's trying here.
Well, at the minute, he's trying everything. Martinez having to defend and make that Corvette as wide as Beyonce's back end. Not quite able to let Morgan Smith go by at this point, and that's definitely something he doesn't want to do. But the whole time he's battling, he is losing distance on Austin Diltz ahead of him. Currently still in the tow, but definitely not quite moving forward where he wants to be.
It's a long race, though. We're on lap 6 at 24, so there's lots of time. You just don't want to give up too much time early, because every second you lose now is a second you got to find later on when the tires are a little worn.
Well, we have another battle going on as well, and we're going to be a little bit pokey on this one. We have Corey Mitchell and Brian Zinn in the booth with us right now. Both of these guys battling. Brian, tell us a little bit about how the back of that Corvette looks for you right now.
Oh, the Corvette's one sexy looking car.
Definitely a biased review there from Brian Zinn. But Corey, what are you going to try and do to keep that number 82 machine right behind you?
Oh man, I'm just trying to get rid of all these voices in my head. This is the first time in Discord. I got enough of my own voices. Now I got 8 more.
Well, Corey.
Good luck, Corey. We'll let you get back to it, and we appreciate you joining us.
Well, we definitely sandbagged him a little bit with that surprise. We know that Corey is not necessarily the most Discord literate, and we definitely gave him a shocker there. Thankfully, it was not an influence on the race, but certainly good, clean fun for us. As you see here, Brian Zinn chasing him down as hard as possible. That gap, 0.3 of a second. Actually, multiple people through the field. 0.3 of a second behind him. I'm going to switch it just a very quick second. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at the left-hand side right now, you can see the intervals between drivers, and you see DJ Alessandrini has absolutely pulled away. You can see a battle right now. Chad Sanowski, Philip Adams, and then not only that, Corey Mitchell and Brian Zinn. These guys going hard at it. Corvette versus Corvette. But we're going to go back to Morgan Smith right now. He's still trying to have a crack at Martinez, and Martinez looking to get a position up on Austin Diltz.
Yeah, we've had a great series of racing going on here all night. We've only lost one car in Rob Campbell. It looks like
here we go.
Well, big move.
Definitely a little bit of a nudge there, and it's fair to say Morgan is going to keep that position. Martinez not quite surrendering right behind. He's seen, he's there, and he is lifting off slightly. That Lamborghini shooting a beautiful exhaust note. It's Morgan Smith using all of the track there. And you see Martinez, he's looking to get a sniff. Is he going to make a move? Not yet. And is this going to open the door for Morgan Smith? Is he there going to be able to work with his teammate and potentially move up through the field?
Yeah, that was it's a tough position to be in. They're all in a big train right now, so they're all trying to make their moves, but it's all about getting some good exit speed. It's not necessarily the corner entry, it's the corner exit that's going to make the moves happen.
Well, we say that as well. It looks like Fozzie Fazillo, he is also running with WBM Racing. I do know he had a bit of an incident earlier. Thankfully, able to keep that car going, albeit in a slightly better shape, as that's a little bit of contact there with the 569 of Paul Bailey, and hit that gap down to 0.2 of a second and closing very rapidly. You see the Porsche definitely has a little lick of damage from what I could see. Looks like the front splitter has damage actually on both of those cars. Paul Bailey's as well, splitter damage, and actually a little bit of damage on the rear of that 911 of Fozzie Fazillo. So definitely a little bit of unwanted contact. But Austin Diltz is up. He's caught up with Philip Adams.
Austin's making a good push here. He's sitting in 8th, trying to get that 7th position. The car's getting a little squirrely going through the corners here, the early corners on the race, but going to keep the pressure up and see what can make happen.
Well, he's certainly going to have to try his hardest. We know that Philip Adams is no pushover by any means, but he does have two of the WBM cars behind him. Actually, we've got Philip Adams here in the booth right now. I understand you are currently trying to chase down a car ahead of you of Chad Sanowski in that 911, but you do know that the WBM racing drivers are right behind it in hot pursuit.
Yeah, I know that they're there. Chad Sanowski got a good pass on me down there towards the end of the track. But I'm just sitting here playing my game, saving fuel, just trying to keep up as Mark Miller goes off in front of me. That's what I needed for my championship. So, but yeah, we're just trying to stay with this pack of Porsches here and just save as much fuel as I can and hopefully jump them in the pits.
Well, that is definitely another way of winning a race, is to jump him in the pits, and it looked like that worked out very well for Chad Stanowski. He able to leapfrog past Mark Miller in that 14 car. Phillip Adams absolutely closing up the gap, just 0.3 of a second in it right now. He's going to need to get a very clean exit there, but we're going to leave him to it. Phillip Adams, thank you for popping in, and good luck again in this battle against Mark Miller and Chad Stanowski.
Thank you, guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am finding that the Discord audio seems incredibly loud from a lot of these guys, except for Richard Swindell. So interesting there. Let us know in the chat if the audio has some issues. And while I can't promise I can fix it, I will certainly take it under review. As I see there's been an incident. It's been Paul Bailey. Now, he was fighting earlier with Fozzie Fazillo. Let's take a quick look and see what happened here.
Well, it looks like Paul's got a little wide there. It is a tough corner to try and make a move. You really got to stay on it, but oh, the Porsche getting a little squirrely, and that was the end of it for him.
Yeah, definitely a shift of the weight balance there, and it definitely could have been a lot worse, but he's thankfully still out and about on the track. Let's take a quick peek right now. It looks like Parker Doohan is under pressure from Ryan Otis. That is one of your race winners, ladies and gentlemen, was Ryan Otis. But he's currently on the 3rd spot of the podium, chasing down another one of these WBM machines out in full force today.
Yeah, WBM's making a great showing today. It's nice to see them have a full fleet of cars out in this racetrack, even if they're all different brands, but hey, whatever works for them.
Well, I think the majority of them are Mustangs. There's a couple of Mustangs, one Porsche, and a Lamborghini as well, but again, it's great to see a team entering this series. Don't get me wrong, there is no team's championship, but if there is one, these guys would currently be the race leaders. You see Otis has dropped back a little bit now, that gap opening up to about 0.7 of a second. He's going to have to be really, really hard on the brakes. And the biggest thing here in these last 2 corners, you got to use all of the track and carry as much momentum as you can, because you will be penalized the whole way down the straight. As you see there, a little correction from the number 3 car, Ryan Otis.
Ryan Otis is just biding his time. It looks like he had a little bit of oversteer going on that one corner, but it's a long race. We're on lap 10. We've got one pit stop still coming up. He's just going to keep clean, avoid those mistakes.
Well, right now we're on the back end of Neil McDougall, not literally, but the back end of his car, and you can see there, that's Chad Stanowski in the number 17 Porsche 911 GT3R. He is in hot pursuit, and it's fair to say Stanowski up 1 position, McDougall breaking even as it stands right now. That's pretty good for a Scottish driver, let's be real. Slight roast there, my apologies. It was just too good to pass up as an Englishman. You know, you got to take him when you get him. And you see Stanowski trying to make a move, getting closer and closer still. That gap 0.2 of a second at one point, not yet able to get it done, but definitely applying pressure to the number 1 car of Neil McDougall.
Yeah, Neil's driving with a lot of confidence. You know, that must be the Scottish blood in him. And Chad's looking for more positions here. He's missed a couple of weeks or several weeks, and I don't think he's content to sit in 5th.
Well, definitely, when you are fighting for the points championship, you have to make hay when the sun shines, and that's certainly what Stanowski is going to have to do as he keeps edging closer and closer, keeping that gap around 0.2 per second. McDougall under pressure as well, and we can see there through the field, but it looks like Troy Banks is trying to make a move. Yes, he is. Troy Banks versus Spencer Perduen, 23 versus the 8, Ferrari versus Chevrolet, and it's going to be interesting. Banks started, I don't think he actually posted a qualifying time, so making his way up through the field, and is currently the hard charger with 11 positions gained since the start.
Troy's been known on the odd occasion to skip qualifying and make a run from the back, whether deliberate or because of timing issues. But he's on a hard charge now. It's nice to see Troy fighting hard.
Well, it's good battle going on back here. It just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, at Apex you can have a battle for 10th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. It doesn't matter where you are in the grid. There is nearly always action happening. And it's my job as director to try and keep you in the mix of that. As I see there, it looks like Corey Smith. There's something going on with Corey Mitchell there. My apologies. Stephen Martinez is heading down pit road, as is Morgan Smith.
That's a little early, I would think, but for what I would do. But they're well within the pit window. They can fill up here and make it to the end.
Well, they're currently keeping an eye on the pit box timers. We're going to see who comes out first. That is Morgan Smith. He did a 15.1. Stephen Martinez with 13.6. And these guys are going to be going neck and neck to this, well, I guess to the line. Who's going to do it? Like, how do you even, because iRacing will let you collide at that position. And yeah, it looks like Morgan Smith has been able to absolutely snake Martinez in that one and give him a little bit of a leapfrog.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen Martinez wisely chose to back out of that and not cause a collision at the end of pit road. That too early to ruin your race over one position at this stage.
Oh, definitely. We did see actually the best pit entrance, well, most entertaining pit entrance last week, and that was from this gentleman here, Roman Bykov. He actually managed to hit the pit wall, bring the thing in sideways, and use up his fast repair. But absolutely hilarious result. But oh dear, what's going on up here? It looks like action is happening. Austin Diltz, Mark Miller, and Philip Adams, these guys all absolutely jam-packed together. And Mark Miller keen to make that recovery position and get one up on the number 2 car of Austin Diltz.
Yeah, well, we've got the 3 cars there battling. 2 of those are in a race for the championship, so they want to keep it clean, but they also want to pass each other.
Well, definitely risk versus rewarding. You see Philip Adams, he is at the back of that pack, but let's not discount the number 82 car of Brian Zinn. The more these guys fight, the more he will be brought into contention. The front of that pack is Austin Diltz. He's in a WBM car. He's currently in 6th, so definitely a lot to play for. As you see, a little bit further back, Brian Zinn and Corey Mitchell, they were fighting earlier, and Zinn, it's fair to say, has gapped the number 12 car of Corey Mitchell.
Distracted Corey a little bit by talking to him. He's, as you said, he, too many voices in his head, and may have rattled him a little bit, but I'm sure Corey will get back on pace very soon.
I'm personally not going to accept any responsibility for his driving performance at all. As we see here, Eric Kalaga. Oh, ow! Damn it, that's got to hurt. And they're still going.
Hard into the wall.
Oh, this just got ugly.
And
oh dear,
they are both broken. Driving down the pit lane. We got some bad blood going on right now, and I think the stewards are going to have something to say about that.
Well, it's fair to say that one definitely got heated, and it's going to be going in the full Talladega Night style. There's going to be a punch-up after the race, but let's take a quick look to see exactly what happened. So here we have Fozzie Vazzillo, and that right behind him is Eric Kalaga. That looks clean so far. Everything's looking good. Let's see if we can get a different camera view here. So, oh, that's a little bit of a nudge there. Oh, and then another nudge. And, yeah, no, I can see why Fazzillo wasn't happy. Then another hit. Oh, dear.
Yeah, and then once they got tangled together, I think blood got a little bit heated, and now they were just basically, I don't know whether it was because of damage or they were just trying to drive each other through the wall here.
Well, that's definitely going to be a interesting review there. And you can see stopping in pit lane. So the days without a protest, I can see that being very, very quickly reset. And it's fair to say those cars are brown bread. Fozzie Vazzillo, he will be out of the race. He's already used his fast repair, well, unless he's done it just now. Let's take a quick look, actually, go live and see if that is it for him. No, he's still out and he's still mobile. Eric Kalaga still in the pit, so I'm interested to see what's going on there. And don't get me wrong, I don't think I'm going to be bringing these guys into the chat at this point, but let's take a quick peek and see what is happening here with Ryan Otis. He's hot on the heels of Parker Doom.
Yeah, Parker Doom is a new name for me. I don't know how many races he's been, but I haven't been here very often. But Ryan Otis is hunting him down. Ryan had a great race last week, and I think he wants to get back up to second place, if not first. It's a matter of how much pressure can he apply to Parker.
Well, Parker being the most successful of the WBM racing guys right now, but he's definitely going to have his work cut out. WBM racing, to put this into context, ladies and gentlemen, Parker is rocking about 2100 IR, and he is holding off the absolute machine of Ryan Otis with that 5600 I rating. So it's fair to say, don't get me wrong, you can't take I rating as complete, truth, but he's done a lot of work to get there, and, in fair play to Parker, he's doing a fantastic job as he's there, and he's going for the undercut and dives into the pits. See Adrian Adams as well, also baiting a little bit in the chat. They're not in the Discord, sir, otherwise we would potentially grab them, but I don't know if I can put that on a stream.
No, it's best to be safe here. There's 2 strategies. We're on lap 14, so we're well within the pit window. We're past halfway. It's a matter of who's gonna beat each other out of the pits. We got Chad Zafnowski here. He's making a hard charge. He's still trying to catch Neil. Neil McDougall's holding him off. These guys have had a good battle for the last 10 laps now at least, and interesting to see what happens through here. And once they make their pit stops, there may be an opportunity for advancement.
Oh, absolutely. The pit strategy will come into play there. As you can see, that gap down to about 0.3 per second and closing. Adrian Adams absolutely baiting in the chat. Well, this goes two ways, sir. Why aren't you in the race? I see your brother is. You should be here helping him, supporting each other. So, yeah, it goes both ways there, sir. Why aren't you in the race? But anyway, we'll see a little bit more about that later. We don't want to roast the chat too much, ladies and gentlemen. You know, just give them a friendly poke and let them know that we're here. To see Morgan Rhodes again cheering on the WBM boys. And it's fair to say he's going to be very happy with how it's going so far for Austin Diltz. And I've lost his name now. Where's he gone? Who am I thinking of? It is Diltz, isn't it? No, Parker.
Yeah,
Parker Durham. That's who I'm thinking of. My apologies, Parker Durham.
Yeah, we got Parker Doom. We've several WBM boys here tonight. Morgan Smith, Sean Giroux, just a few guys, and it's nice to see them all out battling.
Well, we do have Donald Mensing. He's currently out on track. Actually, we've never actually spoke to Donald before. So, Donald, I understand you're currently in 21st. I think you maybe got wrapped up in a few little mishaps earlier. Tell us a little bit about how your race is going in the fine, mighty Mustang that you're driving today.
Oh, it's going for sure. I'm just trying to pick up little bits and pieces from people driving way too aggressive. I know I'm not fast, but pretty much that's one of my usually objective when I try to do these races. I just try to learn the course more and pick them off little by little when they keep racing each other really hard.
Well, definitely. You benefited earlier from an incident involving Eric Colaga and Fozzie Facilio, but we are going to leave you to it for now. Thank you for dropping in. That's Donald Mensing, ladies and gentlemen, in the number 01 Ford Mustang GT3.
Yeah, Donald's up 7 positions just by following his philosophy is drive clean, drive hard, but drive clean and wait for others to make mistakes and capitalize. Looks like we have a bunch of cars in the pits right now. Pit sequence must be almost over. We got Mark Miller coming out. I saw Corey Mitchell. I think Tony Phillips is also in the pits. Everybody looked like they had clean pit stops. They're all coming out in the order they went in, it looks like.
Right, it's going to be a little bit busy here as they rejoin the track. That's Brian Zinn on the right-hand side, and that's Morgan Smith right behind. Morgan Smith able to leapfrog past Mark Miller. That could be very crucial, but has Morgan Smith has already pit as well. So as he takes a little bit of a scenic route off track, he's managed to leapfrog the number 11 car.
Yeah, Morgan making use of all the track and a little bit of the sand and grass. So doing what he has to do to hold him off, and so far so good.
Definitely a good race there from the number 9 Lamborghini, and I'm pleased to see somebody having the courage, I guess, to drive something a little bit different there. But these guys are all currently in a 4-way pack. Actually, the field has spread open massively right now, and this is the biggest battle that's going on right now. Austin Diltz is at the front of it in this Ford Mustang GT3. Brian Zinn right behind in the Corvette. Then we have the other, another WBM car of Morgan Smith with Mark Miller up the tail. Martinez is a little bit further back. That's who Morgan Smith was fighting with earlier. He's managed to go a little bit, well, maybe not a little bit wide. It was more wide than I would have done, but he's managed to drop back a little bit to Morgan Smith. So it'd be interesting to see what can happen with Corey Mitchell behind as well.
Yeah, we've got most of the cars have done their pit stop already, but we've still got at least 7 or 8 that haven't. So once everything shakes out, we'll see where everybody lies.
Well, this is telling me that Chad Sanowski has gone in the pits. There we go. He's just leaving pit lane now. Philip Adams also leaving pit lane. And Wesley Bryce, he's coming in the pits. I've got the wrong timer set on for that, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies there. And I've done it again. He's currently in the pits. It's because I'm selecting the wrong camera. But there you go. Let's take a look at Philip Adams. He must be just leaving the pits there. And there you go. Philip Adams coming out the pits. And that looked like Austin Diltz has just shot by him. So interesting to see. And is Brian Zinn going to make a move on the inside? He does. Brian Zinn sneaks past Philip Adams as well.
I believe Philip Adams come out pretty much where he was. He may have lost 1 position in that pit sequence, but overall he's still ahead of Mark Miller, and now he's got to make a move and try and get up to Neil McDougall in their season championship.
Well, at the minute, this is the closest battles happening on track right now, but there is still one gentleman, actually 2 gentlemen who have not yet pit. Donald Mensing is one of them as he goes into the pits, but the other one is this gentleman here. It's currently your race leader. It's Ryan Otis in the number 3 car, and he is still out in that Corvette. 16 laps of 24 completed, as he is the last of the late pitters.
Yeah, that's interesting to see. I always expect to see Troy Banks pitting last, but Ryan Otis held out longer than everybody. He must have been saving a little bit of fuel on that first stint. Try and make a short, quick pit stop and jump back out there and secure his 2nd place.
Well, we're going to see where he re-emerges. DJ Alessandrini is on the way. That gap closing ever closer. We're going to see here Is Otis going to be able to get out in front? I'd be highly doubtful, but we know that Alessandrini had the aggregate lead. Looks like Otis not yet heading out the pit. What about Parker doing? Whereabouts is he? He's further down the track. Is Otis yet on the move? Otis is there heading out the pits. Is he going to be able to get it done? I'm looking for him. And yeah, he holds on to second place.
Yeah, his pit strategy.
Oh.
He had a few second lead, and his pit strategy paid off, and he's doing well.
I have a feeling I just seen Fozzie Fazillo facing the race the wrong way in that corner there.
I missed that, Zippy, to be honest with you, but Fozzie moved over once he got the flashing lights. He's a lap down now, so this isn't his race with these guys ahead of him.
You can see Ryan Otis trying to make his way through the lap traffic. Donald Mensing being very courteous of that fact. As you can see there, further up the road, that is another lapped vehicle. That is somebody who we caught up with earlier. That's Paul Bailey in that 911. So Otis doing everything he can. But Alessandrini, 11 seconds ahead. It's fair to say that he probably is not going to catch him at this point. But let's rejoin the battle further back. As you see, Brian Zinn trying to make a move on the inside of Austin Diltz.
Yeah, Austin's had a good race. He's holding Brian at bay for now. Well, we've only got about 7 laps left, so Brian's going to start to get impatient soon if he hasn't been able to make that move. Here's always a good position, but got to push hard. It's a kind of double apex right, off camber, uphill, little left, and now we're going to go into the chicane here. So it's a matter of just keep applying the pressure, don't make mistakes, take opportunities when they arise.
Well, that's what you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. As you see, a little bit of a slide there from Brian Zinn. Dilt's trying everything he can to pull away, and the battle is incredibly tight as we look further back as well. Car after car after car. Mark Miller there, he's dropped back a little bit now to Morgan Smith. He's currently 1.4 seconds behind, so generally he's separated off that pack. Morgan Smith has been able to run away from it, and Smith actually just a couple attempts behind Phillip Adams. You see both of these guys sliding. Morgan Smith, I swear, he's starting to spend more time in the sand than David Hasselhoff, as was that pun.
Oh, jeez.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, well, hey, we'll give credit where it's not due, I guess. Morgan Smith's having a great race here. I think he's up 4 positions. He's battling hard. He's charging forward, doing everything in his power to try and get some more points on the board. And Phillip Adams, he wants to maintain his position in the season. He's got to hold him off and maybe advance a little bit.
Well, the good thing is ahead of him, he does have Brian Zinn, so he will be getting a little bit of a toe off that other Corvette. But I do wonder if the WBM racing guys can use maybe a little bit of team strategy, you know, to try and help Morgan Smith leapfrog these 2 cars between them. Austin Diltz in 6th, Morgan Smith in 9th. There is a possibility of doing that. It would be a high-risk maneuver. Is it going to pay off? Can Morgan Smith do it on his own accord? Can he get by the Corvette number 35 of Phillip Adams?
Yeah, I mean, team strategy does play a part, but I don't think there's much that can be done there. He's got the two Corvettes in between the 2 cars, and Austin doesn't want to compromise his race results for something that may not work.
Well, he definitely needs to have the Carlos Sainz level of skill to back up the field and help his teammate out. And certainly being at the Italian track, you know, the Ferrari team would be very happy, but not happy enough that they kept the guy for his contract. But saying that, Lewis Hamilton, realistically, 8-time world champion. You know, you make room for the guy. That's my opinion.
You
we're not
don't.
going to get.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
No,
we're
you
not.
don't.
Yeah, no. And that's Richard fired now from Pit Road Productions, despite the fact we never paid him. You got to be a Lewis Hamilton fan. I'm just racing. At least he's not a Verstappen fan. At least if he is, I'm going to mute him.
I guess I get muted. See you later.
Really, Verstappen?
Oh, why not?
Oh, he's not very nice. He's a bit of a douche.
Unlike most of the guys, he's an iRacer, and he races GT3 cars, and we're at a GT3 race tonight. So, hey, I'm going to cheer him on.
Well, I will give you that.
We got some good battling going on now as we're entering the early stages of this course. Brian's in making a little move, but just letting Austin know he's there. Phillip Adams hanging tight. 3 guys are giving it all they have here, but nobody's able to make an advancement.
Well, something I do want you guys to keep in mind as well, if we look behind right now, this is the car of Donald Mensing, and you can see a little bit further back is Neil McDougall. Now, Neil McDougall is ahead of that battle. I don't think the lap traffic is going to come into it. I thought it was going to be a bigger deal, but definitely still a little bit of space. As it looks like Brian Zinn looking to have another go at Austin Diltz. Is the number 82 versus the number 2. Not yet able to get it done.
And we're coming into this tough section of the track. You want to be as close as possible, and Brian's giving it everything, but there's really no move to be made in this section of the course unless the person ahead of you makes a mistake. It's really about setting them up, going through the last couple of corners, making a move down the straightaway, diving in on turn one. But as I say that, Brian's going hard, and he cuts him through the chicane and gets the position. Nice move, Brian. Great pass.
That was definitely a absolutely fantastic pass. I'm not going to deny it was pretty good. Actually, it was so good. We're going to get a replay of that. That looked really, really good. Absolutely courageous move there from Brian's in. Let's take a look at it from the onboard. You can see there, closing up to the Mustang, and he's going to have to carry as much exit speed as he can, and he does right in the trail. Comes out of the slipstream quite early, but he keeps his nose in, and it is a battle of the late breakers, and he does it. He goes and absolutely, for lack of better words, sends it in. Dilts bats out, and he gains the position. Brian's in sixth place. As I see, Austin Dilts has just dropped back down. Oh, what's going on with Dilts?
Sure what happened there, but he's flashing his lights like crazy, and not sure why.
I'm going to try and
I think
take
we're
a
on the
quick
replay
peek.
here still. Yeah.
He's gone in the pits. I wonder if he got a penalty. He pit on
There
lap
is,
19.
Yeah, there is a stop and go required, I believe, if you get over so many incident points, and he may have just had enough to get there. I guess we'll find out later.
Well, that's definitely not what Austin Dilts had in mind. That has pushed him back down into 14th place. But the good news is the 22 car ahead of him of Benjamin Syke is going to be a very vulnerable target right now. And I got to say, I absolutely love the paint on that. So bright, so colorful, and a little bit vibrant. But we are going to move back up. We got another battle going on with the WBM cars again. And it's Sanowski versus Durham, Parker versus Chad. And it's fair to say these guys have been up at the top of the field all race long. Actually, change of plan. Morgan Smith and Mark Miller are getting close again. Mark Miller obviously regained that position just a few moments ago. We'll get a replay of that in just a moment. Let's see if Morgan Smith can answer back and regain what he once had.
Yeah, it looks like the WBM boys really have mapped out their the flashing lights buttons, because they seem to be using them a lot tonight. Morgan Smith charging hard. He's trying to get back in front of Mark Miller, and good position here. Nice place on the track to try and make that move happen if you can get up close.
Well, he's not yet been able to get it done, but let's take a quick look at the replay and see how Mark Miller got by, see what happened there. So hey, it's actually quite a long way back at this point, so a lot of gap to cover. Let's see how he does it as they're heading down into a fast left-hander. I do wonder, maybe a little bit too much go from Morgan Smith. We're going to find out very shortly. Oh dear, that was interesting. That looked like a lap car had got it wrong, and he was able to sneak by. Morgan Smith having to take evasive maneuvers, but it certainly was not over. And actually, I got a feeling I know which car it was, because I'm getting absolutely lit up like a Christmas tree by Corey Mitchell. Richard, talk us through it.
Well, Corey's coming down here. You got big double apex left-hander.
Oh,
Then it wasn't. Oh, Corey got taken out. Actually, I think that may have been Donald Mensing, a lap car that may have been spun around. I could be wrong. I don't want to speak out of turn there, but that was just a quick glance. And Corey just kind of took the brunt of that.
well, I'm going to see if I can work out which car it was, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can slow this down in just a second. We'll see exactly who that was. I may have slowed it down a little bit too far.
A couple corners early here.
Yeah, a couple of corners. I can try and hit the play, but I think it's going to backfire.
That's okay. We'll, no sense letting it backfire now. We had enough backfires at the beginning of the session, and let's keep it clean for the rest of it, Zippy. Yeah, that looked like a Mustang, and I'm guessing that might have been Donald, who we were speaking with earlier.
I do believe so, as he is currently sat in the pits with a beer can as a car. So that's definitely not what he had in mind, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make sure we're live. There we go. Let's rejoin the action with Morgan Smith and Mark Miller. These guys are going at it once again. So definitely a few retirements today. It looks like 23 and down. So that's a lot of retirements. That's 5 retirements. Rob Campbell retiring quite early, which is a little bit of a shame, I guess, choosing not to keep running once his race had that spin out. But yeah, closest battle on track right now is between Mark Miller and Morgan Smith. WBM getting all of the screen time today.
Well, when you have enough cars spread out through the field, you're bound to get it. And hey, get the time where you can and throw the numbers up, and one of your guys is going to get on the broadcast.
Well, that is definitely one way of doing it. Attack enforcers. You see them passing one of the lap cars there. Not quite sure who it is. We'll try and get the number off it. They're in front of Steven Martinez, I can tell you that much, but able to clear the lap traffic pretty quickly.
Yeah, generally speaking, the guys in Apex, this all know the rules. Lap drivers generally move out of the way as quickly as possible, and they don't want to cause issues. They know that's not their race. They want to get to the finish line and battle for the positions they're in.
Well, definitely, it was Aaron Sunday there who was quick to move out of the way. We do thank you for your great sportsmanship. Certainly questionable as to whether we saw that earlier from Eric Kalaga, and Fozzie Fazillo. I'm looking forward to the memes from Kent to see exactly what happens with that. And, you know, I do wonder what triggered it. It did look accidental at first, but there may have been prior history there as we see two battles going on. Morgan Smith and Mark Miller, and also Chad Stanowski. He's still keen. WBM up one and down one, as that is the white flag, ladies and gentlemen. White flag, your race leader right now, DJ Alessandrini, in that Porsche 911. And again, not really having anybody for company, as Ryan Otis is back in second, and that's when it gets interesting in the final battle for third.
Yeah, we got Parker Doom and Chad Sosnowski battling for the last podium position, and it's just a matter of we're on the last lap, and can they get it done or can't they?
Well, Stanowski is going to have to be more aggressive, and he was indeed almost hitting Parker Doom right then. Definitely a lot more aggression, able to carry a lot more speed. I do wonder if he was maybe saving fuel earlier, because right now the gloves are off, and he is keen. Stanowski doing everything he can, as Parker's just disappeared. That was a little bit of a network issue just then. That could have been very, very scary.
Yeah, it could have been very scary, but fortunately, both got through clean. Now we're coming up through the last technical section of the track, and this is where Brian Zinn made a move earlier, just a couple corners up from here, and you need a good exit coming out of this corner in order to hold off the guy behind you. Chad's hoping for an opportunity, but it doesn't look like Parker's going to give it to him right now. We're running out of time if he's going to get on that podium.
Oh, he's definitely going to have to make it quick. He's got to carry as much speed as he can through this chicane. Get as good an exit. As you see there, a little bit of a slide there from the number 13 car, but not enough for Chad Stanowski to do anything about it. He is close, but not close enough, as they're going to head down through 3 corners to go. There's a little bit of a right-hander there into the braking zone. Oh, what a send, but it was too much. Stanowski goes off in the second to last corner. Thankfully, Parker was not hit in the process, but that could have ended very, very badly.
Yeah, it looked like Chad got on the comms and started yelling, knowing he missed his braking point. But great sportsmanship by Chad to try and let Parker know to clear out.
Well, your race winner was DJ Alessandrini, with Ryan Otis in second and Parker able to get third. But we're going to go back to this battle between Mark Miller and Morgan Smith. It looks like Mark Miller is going to get the better of him at this point as they're heading down towards the start-finish. That is, I believe, Fozzie Fazillo in the background as well. Mark Miller able to keep the 8th spot from Morgan Smith, and then Steven Martinez comes up as well. Wow, what a battle. What a battle. Actually, let's see further back what's going on. Yeah, no, not too many battles left, I think, ladies and gentlemen. They've cleaned them all out for the most part, but definitely quite a few retirements there. It's DJ Alessandrini, your race winner.
DJ, as expected, kind of drove away start to finish in that race. Ran a clean race, pulled out in front, just didn't make any mistakes, didn't give Ryan an opportunity to close the gap at all, and you know, that's kind of what we expect to see from DJ.
Well, let's take a quick look at your race results. And ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize yet again.
No. We don't apologize. This is the way it is, guys.
Yeah, get used to it. But the point is, we've got the race order, and the gentleman who I have hired to resolve this for me, he did send me a fix, but he didn't quite send me all of it to me, so I couldn't actually use it, which is a little bit of a shame. But there is going to be a custom-made Pit Road Productions template coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping to have it by the last race of the season. If not, it'll be here next season. I do have intentions of staying with you guys, certainly at least one night a week. It's probably going to be Sunday nights, and we're going to see if we can hoodwink Richard Swindells into staying and coming back with us. But right now, let's go through the results, ladies and gentlemen. Number 26 car, DJ Alessandrini. He came in first with Ryan Otis in second. Not really able to give Alessandrini much of a challenge there. Parker Durham, he came third with Chad Stanowski in fourth. Not quite able to pull it off towards the end. Neil McDougall in fifth, with Brian Zinn there in sixth. Philip Adams in seventh. Mark Miller takes eighth. Morgan Smith takes ninth. And Steven Martinez takes 10th.
In 11th, we had Tony Phillips, followed in 12th by Austin Diltz. 13th was Benjamin Syke, followed in 14th by Wesley Bryce. Roman Bykov finished 15th. Spencer Bodin, 16th. We had Sean Giroux in 17th. Mark Bray, we didn't talk about much. He finished 18th. Corey Mitchell, we saw that late incident. He managed to finish 19th. And then we had Fozzie Basillo in 20th.
As we have a look at 21st, that was the Porsche 911 of Aaron Sunday with Paul Bailey right behind in 22nd. Again, another 911. Russell Elizondo, we didn't really see too much of him today. I believe he was part of the early retirement squad. He's there in 23rd with Donald Mensing having a little bit of a tangle late on in the race in 24th with Troy Banks in 25th. Eric Kalaga, he was involved in that heavy incident with Fozzie Fazzillo. I'm looking forward to seeing the memes on that in 26th. Kelly Greenhoe, Rob Campbell, and Stan Hammonds. I don't think they even started a couple of those. Rob Campbell did, but yeah, definitely an interesting race. But we actually have a couple of people waiting to get in here, ladies and gentlemen, which is fantastic news. We're actually going to get to interview some people. So I tell you what, Richard, why don't you take a quick interview there with our race winner, DJ Alessandrini.
Hello.
Hey, DJ, congratulations on a victory. Well done tonight. How was it for you?
I honestly didn't expect to have that much pace over everyone. Just normally Ryan and I are really close in pace, so I just think something about Imola and me get along.
Well, that was my next question: is how do you like Imola? But based on your results tonight, it looks like you do very much. Perhaps it was the difference between the Porsche and the Corvette at Imola. Maybe it's just a little better combination.
I do have a decent amount of laps here in the Porsche Cup car because the Porsche Cup car hits all the dopamine hits for me. So the GT3 Cup car or whatever they call this thing, it's almost the same. So maybe all those Porsche Cup laps translated to the GT3 car.
Well, awesome job tonight. It's nice to see you back. I guess we missed you the last week. I'm not sure. I think you missed the last couple of weeks, but nice to see you back racing with Apex this, and congratulations on the victory. Is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Nope. I'd like to thank you guys and all the admins that helped put on this league.
So, well, thanks for joining us, DJ, and congratulations once again.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, my apologies. There we go. Helps if I unmute my microphone. You guys could hear it, but the broadcast could. Parker, I've got to say, it's great to have you here in the broadcast booth. Congratulations on third place. But please tell us, how on earth do you pronounce your last name?
It's pronounced dime, like the coin. No one will ever get it first try. I don't expect you to either.
Well, that is good news. And when he watches the broadcast, you can see us absolutely obliterate your last name, Parker Dime, ladies and gentlemen. But tell us a little bit. You were part of the WBM racing squad. Tell us what you guys did as a team to prepare for Imola.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, we did a couple other league races at Imola in the past couple weeks, so I was just used to it. And I've only ran the Mustang. I'm trying to stick to that car, so we had some pace.
It definitely had a strong representation from WBM. It's good to see you guys out in force. And I gotta say, what an absolutely fantastic job. Almost getting caught by Sinowski there. Tell us a little bit about them taking to the last corners.
I mean, I saw Chad cutting down the relative pretty quick, and then he came a missile in that second to last corner, and it scared me, but it was all well and fun. But no, he had pace, and my tires were just absolutely gone at that point. So it made it close for sure.
Well, before we let you go, Parker, is there anybody you'd like to thank for your performance today?
Yeah, thanks for the team, always putting in practice, and thanks to my wife, who's letting me done 2 league races this weekend instead of hanging out with her. But I love her, so she knows my intentions.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is not just a thank you. That is a very crucial piece of advice from the number 13 car of Parker Dime. Thank you very much, and congratulations on your third place position.
Thanks again. Thanks for the broadcast, guys.
Thank you very much, Parker. But Richard, I understand you've been able to catch up with Ryan Otis. That is our second place finisher.
Ryan, how are you?
Oh, good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. Congratulations on the second place. A couple of good back-to-back finishes for you. Didn't look like you quite had enough for DJ tonight. How'd your race go for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of had a mess at the start there where the field started to go because we saw the green flag, but the green lights hadn't come on. So I kind of went and stopped and then got mobbed by the field. So I lost lost the spot at the start, and I kind of knew I wasn't really gonna have anything for DJ in terms of pace. I think he was probably gonna be a few tenths faster than me, and so I just decided at that point, really right off the start, once I dropped to third, that I would just save fuel and hope the guy in front of me pit early so I could just get uncorked and try to do a few fast laps and hop him in the pit cycle, and it ended up working out. So that was good.
Oh, we did watch that and we did follow that pit strategy and it worked out well for you. That was good to see. And I appreciate you explaining what happened at the start. We knew something was going on, but wasn't sure too much what happened because the car seemed to start really late and but you still managed to salvage it and come up second. So congratulations. Is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
I'd just like to thank Apex This, the league organizers. They do a good job of running the league, and they're always very responsive for like race control and things like that, for protests afterward, and for fostering productive discussions. So yeah, I'll just thank those guys. I think they do a good job.
Well, I agree with you 100%, and thanks a lot for joining us. And just for the other viewers, they know Apex This is a free league. There's no cost to join. There's no cost to enter a race. Everything's by donations and sponsors. So if you want to donate and you can donate, certainly appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on, helps keep the broadcast going, helps keep the racing going. And they have a great stewarding system. They try and keep things clean. They try and keep everybody in line. They try and make sure everybody has fun. There's somebody to race for everyone in this league. So if you're looking to get into league racing, I highly suggest Apex This.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was great to catch up with Ryan Otis. Absolutely fantastic as well. Congratulations on that second position, but we are going to leave you be. And I got to say, what an absolutely fantastic race today, ladies and gentlemen. Just so much action, so fun. It looks like there was battles going on throughout the entire field, but we are going to wrap it up here in just a second. Oh, no, damn it. I know what we got to do. I know what we got to do. We've got to thank these sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. So
we got to pay the bills. We got to keep the lights on, folks, because these are the people. We're only here because of the donations of the members and the gracious sponsors that we've got here who help keep this league operating. Like I said, it's a free league, and the sponsors help make it happen. We've got several sponsors for Apex this season. First sponsor we've got Apex Sim Racing. For immersive racing gear, they carry Cube Controls, Momo, Mazda Racing, Sim Magic, OPP Motorsport, OMP, Rich DPC, and Apex Sim Racing brands.
We also have Full Speed Sim Coaching, where your personal coach will make you a better sim racer. Blake's mission is for you to get a better understanding of sim racing fundamentals to take you to the next level. Using visual guidance and telemetry analysis, he caters to novice and intermediate racers using iRacing and Assetto Corsa.
And we also have Get Good Racing. With one-on-one coaching or a self-directed course, Get Good Racing has what you need to improve your iRacing skills. Marlian, he's a 5K iRating driver, one of the top 1% iRacing drivers. In the end, his goal is to make you understand how you can self-coach yourself in the long run, giving you all the tools and making sure you can use them.
Race Smarter with DRE, the Digital Race Engineer, is a premium spotter and crew chief with many additional benefits. Built exclusively for iRacing, the best iRacing spotter and perfect for VR users. Monitors your racing context and alerts you. It's the crew chief iRacing needs. Use your voice or buttons to control over 400 commands. Get vital feedback from over 50 voice alerts. Nothing to look at or be distracted by. Audio-only communication. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our sponsors. We're going to head out to the closeout cameras just so you guys can see a little bit more of the absolutely outrageous shirt of Richard Swindell's. But it was an absolutely fantastic race today. Imola won. I can make my own blue for real with just being me at this point, ladies and gentlemen. But and not only that, Richard Shirts could as well. But it's been an absolutely fantastic race today here at VIR. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely curious to see what the outcome will be of the Fozzie Fazillo Eric Kalaga incident. Probably not something you want to emphasize on too much, but let's be real. It's drama, ladies and gentlemen, and drama gets views. So, if they need an extra perspective, we've got one here on the broadcast. And from my point of view, I'm not really sure what to call it, but I'm looking. I'm not looking forward to the fallout, but we'll be seeing the fallout there. Definitely be interested to see how the points championship work up as well. It's good to see a good variety of cars in the grid, but certainly next season, that McLaren, I'm hoping a few of the drivers pick that. But Richard, before we go, any closing thoughts?
It was an exciting race for sure, and you know, all the racers put on a good show. We got good hard battles for the most part, very clean battles across the field, and be interesting to see what happens at VIR next week, because we've still got a fairly close points battle. Although I think with tonight's results, they may have stretched it a little beyond 5 points, but still 2 weeks left.
Well, that is an absolutely valid conclusion there from Richard Swindells. But ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Daniel Zippy Salmon. Joining me was Richard Swindells, and thank you all for tuning in as well. Adrian Adams being out of work is not a good excuse for not racing. Make it happen, buddy. We're looking to see you here on the grid next week. But from all of us here at Pit Road Productions, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for round 11 of Apex This iRacing at VIR.